Imagine that tonight, after everyone falls asleep and silence fills your room, someone knocks softly at your door. You open it. Standing there is a stranger. Not frightening, not angry, just calm. And the stranger says, "Everything you have lived, every joy, every heartbreak, every embarrassment, every mistake, every moment of loneliness, every person you loved, every opportunity you missed, you will live it all again, exactly the same. Not once, not twice, but forever." Then the stranger disappears. Now pause for a moment. What would you feel? Terror, regret, exhaustion, or gratitude? This is the question Nietzsche placed at the center of Thus Spoke Zarathustra Part 3. And perhaps it is one of the most uncomfortable questions ever asked. Because this part of Zarathustra's journey is no longer about teaching others. Now the battle becomes internal. Now the mountain exists inside him. Zarathustra begins facing something deeper than criticism from society. He begins confronting life itself. There is an old story about a monk who crossed the same mountain path every day. The journey was difficult. Steep stones, cold winds, heavy rain. One day a traveller asked him, "Master, do you not become tired of walking the same road?" The monk smiled. "The road repeats, but I do not." The traveller looked confused, and the monk continued. "Every return reveals a different self." Perhaps that is where Nietzsche begins, because repetition itself is not the burden. Consciousness is. Many people believe happiness means escaping suffering, escaping mistakes, escaping pain, escaping difficulty. We quietly imagine a better version of life waiting somewhere in the future. A future where everything finally becomes easier. But Zarathustra slowly realizes something disturbing. What if life does not become meaningful after pain disappears? What if meaning emerges because pain exists? Because every scar becomes part of the story. Every mistake shapes perception. Every loss changes love. Every wound creates depth. And then Nietzsche introduces his strange and unsettling idea, eternal recurrence. The possibility that life endlessly repeats itself, not as punishment, not as reward, but as a question, a test. Could you embrace your life so completely that you would willingly live it again forever? Not only the beautiful moments, everything. The heartbreak, the uncertainty, the failures you still think about at night, the suffering, especially the suffering. Because Zarathustra discovers something many of us spend years avoiding. Life does not ask permission before bringing pain. Pain arrives, loss arrives, disappointment arrives, and much of life remains outside our control. There is another story. A young student once asked a monk, "How do I avoid suffering?" The monk handed him a small handful of sand. "Hold it tightly." The student squeezed. The harder he gripped, the more sand slipped through his fingers. Then the monk said, "Now open your hand." The student relaxed. The sand remained, and the monk smiled. Life cannot always be controlled. Sometimes peace begins when grasping ends. Perhaps Zarathustra needed to learn this too, because fighting reality endlessly creates another form of suffering. We replay the past. We argue with destiny. We ask, why did this happen? Why me? Why this pain? But reality remains silent. And slowly Zarathustra transforms, not because suffering disappears, not because fate becomes kinder, but because he stops demanding another life and begins embracing this one completely, even the difficult parts, especially the difficult parts. Because perhaps wisdom is not learning how to escape existence. Perhaps wisdom is learning how to say yes to it, to say yes to uncertainty, yes to imperfection, yes to sorrow, yes to joy, yes to being alive. Because maybe the ultimate question is not, do I love happiness? Everyone loves happiness. Perhaps the deeper question is, do I love life itself? Enough to accept all of it. Enough to carry all of it. Enough to choose it again. So tonight, before sleep finds you, sit quietly with one question. If every moment of your life repeated forever, what would you begin changing today? Sit with that. Because maybe eternal recurrence was never meant to predict the universe. Maybe it was meant to awaken us. And if this journey made you think, right below, would you relive your life exactly as it is? Subscribe to Why We Think, and together we'll continue exploring the ideas that quietly shape our lives.